Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to Certified Hustling. Today, I want to discuss exactly what CH means and tell you the whole story behind it. So, let's jump in. Certified hustling is the action, and being a certified hustler is the mindset. Meaning that if you have a dream, a vision, or a plan, either in the works or already set into place, to start your own business, become your own boss, or simply scale up in your existing situation, having the motivation and the hustle will get you there. Now, here's my story. So, what certified hustling means to me is what I just described to you. And my story through it basically is when I was 17, I started my very own company called BC Communications, which is the same company that runs all of the operations for this podcast and also the Real Talk with Bill Carmichael podcast as well. I started out by doing computer repair, and then that transitioned into graphic design, and now it pretty much has transitioned into public relations for anything for myself, being any companies that I'm affiliated with or that I endorse or that I work, with, and, partnerships and stuff like that. But certified hustling, that mindset has always been there, meaning that whether you're certified or not, whether if you have a degree, documentation to back it up, none of that, don't even think about that. The certified part means you have that mindset. You have, say, like you're not, certified in that field, but like you plan to be, or you feel like you are because you have enough skills and enough knowledge to proceed, in that area and, stuff like that. And then the hustling part comes in, meaning you have the motivation. You're not lazy. You put in the work to achieve those goals and, to meet those needs and all of that. So that is where becoming a certified hustler, plays into it. Now, if you are certified, do have a degree in whatever field you're in, that is great. That is absolutely fantastic. If you're not certified, that does not mean that you are any lesser than the people that are. Because, like I said, you still have the motivation, you have the willpower, you have the strength, the know-how, the mindset, and the want to continue to keep going, to build up your momentum, to build up your ambition, to achieve and believe in what you dream. That is the main core of certified hustling and what it means to become a certified hustler. Like I said, I started out doing computer repair, and then I transitioned into graphic design, and there was a time where I was doing them both at the same time, and that is completely okay if you want to do more than one thing at once. You just have to have that hustle to be able to manage it and the motivation, in order to keep it going. And it is absolutely also okay to stop one thing and completely focus on another. Like, for example, for me, I completely stopped computer repair and only focused on graphic design. And then I stopped graphic design to just focus on basically myself and building my career. Now, I know everybody's situation is going to be different, and your situation is not going to be similar to mine. Mine is basically, I was doing computer repair and graphic design so much as a business that I could not really give the ample amount of time and focus on myself and my career as well, meaning like me and my mom, we have a retail business together called D12 Deals by the Dozen, and I also do music, and I have another podcast on top of this, and I have YouTube, and I'm a RADA cutlery affiliate and a Tastefully Simple consultant. So, there's a lot going on. There's also, DJing on top of that, DJ Billiam G. Not trying to, blast myself out there and, all the plugs and everything, but just trying to give you an example of everything that I have going on so you can somewhat compare it to what you have going on and somewhat also differentiate it between what you have going on and what I have going on and what others out there have going on as well. Because I know this podcast, as well as my other one, has international listener status, so anybody around the world at any time, can hear, these stories and these, tips and tricks and everything, that I try to provide. And if it seems like I'm kind of, jumbling around a little bit, that is where the realness comes in with my other podcast and this podcast. I don't really script everything that I say. Now, I did through the portion of the beginning of this podcast, but everything else kind of comes off, the top of my head, because that's the real connection that I want to have with you, where not everything is perfect, not everything is scripted, kind of like we're having a real, conversation. So that kind of sums up, what certified hustling is in a nutshell, what being a certified hustler means, and everything like that. Now I want to talk about co-hosting. If you would like to tell your story in whatever field that you're in, whatever industry, it does not matter. Anything, is welcome. If you are, in the automotive industry, the sales industry, the retail industry, TV, media, broadcasting, whatever industry you are in, if you would like to tell your story, the good, the bad, and the ugly of being in that industry, I am opening up this podcast. It's an open opportunity for guest co-hosting. More information will be provided on another episode, but I just wanted to put that out there. And like I mentioned, Certified Hustling, when I started this podcast, the main mission was for me to tell my story and you to tell your story about cracking the code to having a successful career no matter what industry you're in. Meaning, if you've been in an industry for 35 plus years, 50 years, all of that, and there's the newer generation that wants to do what you do, you can tell them exactly what has helped you and what, has not helped you, and you can give them all of the advice that you would like, tell them kind of, what to do, to help them in that field, what not to do, to help them in that field, and things like that. That is what I have tried to provide on both of my podcasts. This podcast, I mainly want it to be only on the business and professional side. That's why my other podcast is completely separate, because that's on the more, personal, real, life side. But like I said, if you would like to tell your story and, would like to help out people and, put your information out there, your advice, your know-how, everything that you have learned, you are more than welcome to. It does not matter where you are in the entire world. You are more than welcome to co-host on this podcast. If you would like I said, more information will be coming out in a future episode. But if you would like to submit something now, if you would like to submit a short audio clip or a typed out, story of your industry, what you do, how you got to be where you are today, and anything like that, you can simply email certifiedhustling@gmail.com, and you can submit, kind of some of your story there. And like I said, more information will be included in a future episode. But I just wanted to put that out there, just kind of get, some of my background out there for any people who may be new to this podcast and maybe new to my other podcast, which is called Real Talk with Bill Carmichael. Both of these podcasts can be found on any podcast platform, wherever you get your podcast. You can simply go to billcarmichael.com and you can find all of the information there. So, like I said, just wanted to get that background out there and get that information out there. I hope you are doing great and having a fantastic start to this new fall season that we are in. And always remember, you don't need a campaign to be a champion. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you next time.